Always use your standing knife very carefully when you're opening a rubber boat.
That's magic, isn't it?
Sailing, we are sailing. Right, go on. All right. One, two, 3 cuts later to make sure that we had sufficient emergency tiller steering, which is a big lump of steel. And unfortunately, when we looked at the lump of steel, we discovered that one end of it was so badly rusted that it's pretty much beyond being salvaged. But I'm not sure whether the spline in the middle, which was a rectangle originally, goes all the way through, because it's got to connect up to a rod the same as that. So what I'm going to try and do is cut the end off, basically go back to some decent metal, 4 or 5 inches further down, and we'll see if that's any good. This is this is what we found. So it's obviously a tube that's been welded in the whole length of the tube, but as you can see, it's just gone completely, and I think we're going to have to go some more to find some decent metal. The only thing I'm worried is that if we go too far, then this main pole becomes quite short and becomes too close to the deck. Let's see how we get on. Ooh. Okay, so inside the tube, there's our second tube inside the tube. That's the one that touches over the top of the steering. And looking at that, this is just a mass of welding. Okay, put some safety glasses on. Let's see where the outside rust has come up to here. So I'm going to go up to about here. That's as much as I dare go before I think we'll start running into problems with how high the emergency tiller is. It's 2 sections, so it's quite long, but it's got to go all the way through the back of the boat, through the V-berth, sorry, through the bed at the back, island bed, not the V-berth, actually at the front, and still attached and still be workable. So we'll have to have a measure. Having said that, I've still got to cut a bit off, so let's cut a bit more. Okay. Still delaminating in here. Okay, so I don't think that's a good enough fit on the bar, so I'm gonna take it another 100mm up. Seems to be better when we get up to about there. So that's this is last chance cafe now, I think, really. Oh, thank goodness. It's getting a bit worried there, but we seem to have finally come back to something that can be used. 1, 2, 3 cuts later, starting off with that, going to that, and finally that. When the 2 tubes are all put together, we'll see whether or not that is actually going to give us a usable emergency tiller. There it sticks up. We are now about, I don't know, 250-300mm lower than the original design, but hopefully that was chest height steer. Let's have a look at that, see how we're getting on. We've cut the pipe down. We now have a piece of pipe, the bottom section of pipe, this one here, which is heavy, and it has a usable piece of sectioning. On the top we've got exactly the same thing with a pin through, and the other 2 sections are also heavy. This is the top section, and you see it's got 2 handles on it, and I would imagine that is so when you're on the back of the boat you can try and turn the boat like that. There's a middle section here, and then there's a male section. So what I'm going to do, put this in the damage den now. The two together. Lovely, look at that, absolutely rock solid. And this now is our emergency tiller, which you can tell from the theft. The only difference is we are now 200mm short. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and measure from the piece underneath the bed at the back to the piece of ply that you're supposed to break out of the way. Seems a bit drastic. And
hope no one's in bed at the time when you do
hopefully
that.
no one's in bed, but they certainly aren't going to be in bed by the time this piece of steel comes smashing through. It's never been used. Hopefully it will never have to be used, but we're going to go and measure, make sure that if push comes to shove, it will be the right height. So let's see what we've got from the end that sits on top of the steering mechanism to the handles is 1.4 meters. So here we are at the back of the boat, and underneath this rug, cunningly concealed, is where the emergency tiller goes. So in the event of emergency, one of the cable snaps or something like that, then you just grab two trusty screwdrivers, maybe not. I don't know if there's a special tool for this. There we go. And hopefully it's not in a force 9 gale, hanging off the back of the boat doing this. And here we go. So all we've got at the moment, reading the instruction manual, is that this is the hole where our emergency tiller goes, and this piece of ply here is actually the lining in the back berth, and it's held up with Velcro. Now I don't actually want to destroy that to do it, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to measure from here to there and say that's, I don't know, 60mm, and now I'm going to go inside and measure from the headlining back down to where it's going to go, plus 60mm, and as long as our steering bar comes up here somewhere, then we're okay. We haven't got to get a new one made. And this is the headlining section here that is supposed to be held up with Velcro. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screw fixings in there, so I've got a feeling that maybe over a period of time somebody has tried to refix it and make it a bit, because you know, Velcro is not something that lasts long. That's something we can deal with anyway. So let's have a look under here. If I lift this panel, hopefully we will see our steering gear. There it is. So this here, this is the center pivot of our rudder, and this is another job we've got to do, because when the surveyor came along and checked this, he said there should be 3 on here and we've only got 2, so I bought one of those. I can add another clamp on there. So from the top, from the shoulder rather, get my tape measure, from our shoulder up to the lining we've got 950, and we had another approximate 50mm on the top 60. To make us clear.
60.
50, 10, what's 10mm, darling? So a metre, nearest diameter, or a metre and 10. So we've got a 1400mm clearance, so that means we've got 400mm clear of the deck with which to steer. So as opposed to 700, which is roughly what we've cut off. So it's doable, so I'm pleased about that. We can put the ply back on this for the time being, get the wire brush out, give it a really good scrub down, get rid of all that nasty rust. I'm just going to give it a quick brush over with what looks like copper brush, just to get rid of the loose stuff, because the hammerite paint is designed to sit on old manky metal, which is what this is going to be.
And what's the aim?
Just basically to get rid of any loose rust. Get rid of any loose rust and any grease, and then the hammerite will do its stuff and stick on there.
Okay,
so the emergency tiller's all rubbed down, got rid of all the loose grease and dust, and she's ready for a coat of paint. So I decided to go for this rather sexy red. The hammerite, which is good stuff, used that in the past, and it pretty much sticks to anything and doesn't need too much prep. According to the surveyor, we've got to change this plastic skin fitting because there's a crack on the inside, and where it comes out is, I think, inside the lazarette locker, so it should be easy to get to, and it's quite a way above the waterline, so let's give it a go. Have a look in the locker and see where it goes to. So that's what the pipe looks like inside the lazarette, which is incredibly easy to get to. And it's made of plastic.
It's a bilge pipe.
It's the outlet to the bilge, we think, so it very rarely gets used, but it's got to be replaced because the man says it's got to be replaced. It's another
Johnny job! Another Johnny job.
Another Johnny job, and it should be easy. Just get a new one.
Just like the gas pipe, just like the fuel pipe.
I'm just going to do a dry fitting first, make sure. I found, believe it, that before you cover things in mastic, it's not a bad idea to check to see if things fit. I'd say that was a decent fit, a nice snug fit. So all we've got to do now is put some mastic round, put the thread on the back. Another job done. Well, get it out. Well, it was working.
Oh no, taking you out of your flow. That's magic, isn't it?
It's friction.
Woo, knocking it out of the park. Little things, little things.
What are you saying?
I don't know. So we're just sat in the sky again. We've moved locations, and this is our view at the moment.
This is how we roll.
There's 3 bulls in this herd. Dotty and Dolly are on guard. Dolly, what do you think of the cows? Do you like them? Do you like them? They're getting on your nerves, aren't they? Anyway, Daddy's doing a job. What do we think to that?
I might pinch it up a little bit. There's a pincher upper I bought earlier.
Is that a wrench?
Wow. I'm not sure what it is actually. I've never seen one before in the UK. It's the European equivalent of Stilsons, I suppose.
Yeah.
Quite handy. So here we are. Final job. We've cut the original tail to the skin fitting a bit shorter, so that the pipe sits further back. Doesn't stop me putting stuff inside the bilge. And it's mastic. Just got to tighten up the Jubilee clip on the pipe, and we're laughing, which is just as well, because it's time for a beer. Sun's going down in the boat yard. We got some good stuff done today. Love it.
Hello.
Hello.
What have you got?
We've got a new toy in the back of this rather sexy transit that's brought us all the way from England.
Go on then.
Lovely, clean transit that's been cleaned 3 times today. Very badly.
Get on with it.
Open the door.
And you can't get the staff inside. We have
A sarcophagus. A bateau.
Tutankhamun's sarcophagus,
Okay.
or possibly a boat.
Yeah, it's in a cardboard box apparently.
So the big argument was that it's not in a cardboard box, and I tell you what,
Did anyone give it
let's just
monkeys?
lay this one to rest now. Always use your standing knife very carefully when you're opening a rubber boat. It's gonna pop open like one of these.
Sailing, we are sailing.
Technically you're rowing,
Rowing in your oars. Waiting for him to pump it up. Get on with it. Stop slacking. Come on, hey.
Right, so come and look at this. It's a bayonet thing. So when you want to release it, you push in. I'll just pump that up again then. Right, go on.
What? Hang on. Oh no.
Close.
Come.
Hold. This. Good.
Come. Right.
How heavy is she? Not too bad.
Hang on. Even I can fucking lift the back. Look at that.
It's light, isn't it?
It's amazing.
You wouldn't want to do that with the engine on the back there.
Johnny, I think you need to give it a kiss or lick it.
You not get jealous.
No.